All right, all right, all right, all right. 1 minute. I'm gonna have to hold on this. Yes. Hey, you all okay in the room? Okay. Right now I can't do anything. I'm online. Have to lock a card. Okay, go in the back seat and pull the thing down. George will show you how to go down, and then you can get into the trunk. Are you at work? Okay, but tell George to show you how to get in the back to go through the trunk. Okay, okay. What if what? No, if not, call me. I mean, I'll touch base with you. I'm on live right now. Okay. Whew. I'm telling you, they will be on me for any and everything. But I give the Most High Yah all glory and all praise. Shalom, 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 Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. Wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening. Tuesday evening in which the Most High Ahia has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm just coming with another message, and it says it's time to talk. Let me turn this phone down. And I'm going to do just that. I'm going to cover a lot of topics today. And again and again, people must understand. Y'all said just one. Just that one, Deborah. That one. And when he says that, I think about Noah and how he was building this ark. And throughout the time, went to minister to the people, come in, it's the world is the flood is going to come and get into the ark. Just imagine, not one pulled up. Not one. But he was one. See, and that's the thing. A lot of times when Yah is saying that one could be you. That one could actually be you. And the Most High he didn't want Noah to feel that overwhelmed because people wasn't coming when he was warning them. It took time, took days, years, months, but yet no. His spirit was encouraged to keep on building the ark and seeing to that the animals get in. Did he mention it to the people? Sure he did. But the Father of creation, he didn't let not one pull up in the ark. Outside of the one, Noah and his family. Noah was the one. See, a lot of us don't understand that everybody is not the one. And that's where you see where things are messed up from the floor because they're thinking, hey, I'm the one. I am one. I am one of the one. I am the one. But you know what? If you were to pick up this Bible and read it for yourself, the instructions and direction book, and read it for yourself, you'll realize, wait a minute, I got to think this over again. I got to go to the altar. I might not be the one. You're doing right. You might not be the one. Because in Yah, we are one. In Yah, we are one. You see? So that one is only those that are in Yah. Only that one. See, I come to grip. First, let me give you something what happened to me this morning. 3 a.m. I was awakened. And it was almost like the Father was, he was speaking to me. He says, someone is lurking. I jumped up out of the bed. I said, oh, wait a minute. And I went to window to the door, and I just, lurking. Okay, I get it. And do you all know that he didn't allow me to feel any fear? It was almost like he was just testing me, my body, to see if it's going to respond to the spiritual part of him that rests therein. He woke me up at 3 a.m. and I was like, what is this about? Why are you waking me up? I knew who had woke me up at 3. It was him, the Most High Yah. And he said, someone is outside lurking. He said, they're not going to try to come in. They're not going to get in, and nor are they going to try to come in. So I jumped up. I said, okay, I'm going to check the windows. I checked. And then I found myself where you see 2 windows. I only checked 1. Then I went on back in the bed and began to praise him and just thank him for just making sure that I am on it with him. Just to wake me up at 3 in the morning and say somebody's on the outside lurking. And I'm like, oh, yeah. He said, they're not going to get in, nor would they try to get in. So I'm like, went over to the windows. And I said, wait a minute. I realized I checked this one window, where it's 2 windows. Check one window, make sure it was locked. Went into the bedroom, checked one of those windows, make sure it was locked. Laid down in the bed. I said, I started praising the Most High Yah. But I also was thanking him for just that quick of his spirit to have awakened me out of my sleep. Because I believe that the Most High is a quick Yah. He does everything in a quicken. And a lot of us are waiting for him to do things in order for us. Oh, he have to do this first before he can do this. He has to do this first before he can do this. He has to do this first before he can do this. Those are the people who are not under the Most High's mighty right hand, because they don't understand. He orchestrates all of it. He don't have to answer to us and say things the way we want him to say it. I don't know if this is smoke or what, this burner, or say things the way we want him to say it, or make things go the way we want it to go. Never do I want the Father to do things my way. I have never been a type of person that want anything that is righteous to go my righteous way. No. Because to me, righteous is who Yah is. And if he's greater in you, then that righteous that's in you going to uphold righteous that's so great in you. But we can lead to our own understanding, which is another side of a righteous in a self. You know how he said in Proverbs 16, in a man's eyes is clean, in his own eyes? That's self-righteous. You see? That's people that's out here that's so self-righteous, they can't hear or know, nor can they behold spiritual righteous, because they got too much self-righteous in them. And the Father says that righteous is separate from this righteous. Going back to 2. And this is what Sister Deborah has said over and over and over. I fully understand when he said either you're born of the flesh or you're born of the spirit. Because the people don't understand. The flesh has its own clean eyes within itself. It has its own wisdom, its own knowledge, its own understanding, its own righteous. It's called self-righteousness or self-righteous. It has its own, and it has no dealing with righteousness in the bosom of the Most High Yah. That it really is true righteousness. You see, so therefore people will teach, preach, lead, and guide under their own self-righteousness. And people will follow it 100% as if it is all good and all well. And you know what else? My Father don't bother with it. I'm going to tell y'all what I learned about the Most High. And throughout different individuals in the instructions and direction book, just listening to them, you can also hear it. Father in the heavens, the creator of all things, of the heavens and the earth, and his right hand power, he does not try to change anyone. I noticed that. He's not in the business of changing you in a way that you're going to gain what he has given freely to those who walk therein, the narrow gate. He's not going to go over to the broad gate and say, okay, y'all, I know y'all over here, and I know, you're walking in the broad gate, but won't y'all come on over here to the narrow gate? That's where life is at. No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it, y'all. Why? Because heaven has orchestrated everything from that level, not from the earthly level, but from the heavenly level. And what made it stand still and firm, for it is written. That means he ain't coming down here to change anything that the flesh of man and woman are down here clowning in and portraying. He ain't coming here to change it. How do you think people end up in the broad gate? How do you think people end up being deceived? To be a deceiver, you have to have a multitude of those that you're deceiving. They are what you call deceive the deceive. So a deceiver must have a multitude of those that that they deceive. That too is written. It is written. So therefore, if people really feel so, how would I say it, firm toward an individual to where they make that individual their God. This person is a God. This person is so righteous, so upright, so just, so powerful, so anointed, so appointed, and all these things in which they are calling these individuals to be. Guess what, y'all? They are nowhere near that in the spirit realm. They are that which they said that they are in the flesh. That's the people who are born of the flesh. Didn't he say the world loves its own? A lot of people don't even think they are the world because they feel that long as I can role play this thing, fake it until I make it, get people to think I serve a creator, no matter what I say, what I do, how I act, what I think, the way I walk, the way I talk, it don't matter. All I have to do is get the multitude, the mass to believe. And I got it. And that's true. That is 100% true. That individual might think that they have them, but they didn't understand heaven had already given them to you. See, that's what they don't understand. They don't understand Revelation chapter 20 or anything pretty much in Revelation because they thinking that flesh of a man, that's these idol gods. Back in the days, they used to call them idol. They would build and create things and idol and call these things. Now I'm gonna set an example. Back in the days, they would say made the calf, or they'll build a statue and they'll worship it as it is what? God. If you're going to sit and tell me today that which they did yesterday, build them a golden calf and worship it, they can't talk, can't walk, can't eat, can't think, can't feel, can't do anything, but you served it as a God. So what do you think they're doing today? They're not building, they taking that same built up in a man and in women, but 90% in men. They building them up as idol gods, and they're serving them and worshiping them and putting them on pedestals. And guess what, y'all? The sad thing about it, they don't know nothing about them. But it ain't about knowing anything about them. It's about a feel to want to have this individual on a pedestal. others are having them on the pedestal, or they saying something. I love what they say. I like the way they talk. Do you know, I hear a lot of people talking about how they don't like an individual, but they love how stupid this individual talk, how wicked this individual talk. Don't you think that's kind of crazy? You would rather take a side of somebody who's profaning and disrespecting the Most High Yah in every shape, form, and fashion. But because you are fascinated with that individual way of throwing words out and talking negative and being belligerent, really, and saying all kind of things, you're fascinated with it. Those are people of the flesh, y'all. That's why they're in love with it. They can't even come out the rectum of people that's like that. They can't come out. So a lot of people think that Babylon is the United Snakes. It's not. Babylon is part of the system of the United Snakes, but it's not the system itself. Babylon is part of the system, but Babylon is not the overall system. And this is a part of how people are being manipulated by every man they hear talk. They just assume that he's a man of Yah, even though they're not a man of Yah. They assume that he is a leader, even though they are not leaders. You see what I'm saying? They assume that this is a king, even though they are not a king. But they following the rector. Didn't he say, come out of her? A lot of people think it's a her. That's just how messed up the minds are. Because people use that and to manipulate people and deceive the mass that, oh, it's a her. He said, come out of her. That's just like what Sister Deborah is saying. Come out of his rectum, you guys, or else you will and shall receive the rewards of he in which rectum you are in. In Revelation, it says, come out of her. No difference. Just telling you, wicked and evil. Come out of that wicked and evil. That darkness. They're not going to do it. Because you know what? I realize that it is a lot of people who are seeing these people as clowns, as a joke. But then at the same time, they liken the negativity the individual bring to them. That has to do with the flesh, y'all. It has to do with the flesh. They yearn for that individual to speak the things in which they feel make them comfortable doing nothing. I was driving today, and the Father told me that the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, when you look at this country and around the world, they are the ones that's not wanting to work. They're not laboring. The system set up something that they knew that would work. They say, when we shut the system down to how did they do it? They switched the whole system, y'all. But when they shut it down, they knew when they hand out them checks what it was going to do to a people. Not just the tribe of Judah, but even poor white people. They knew what they were doing. They knew that they were forming a form of laziness. They knew if we give them something, they'll never want to come back and be the best that they could be for their families, for themselves. And they still have not come up out of that. Now they said, I don't want to work for the slave master. I don't want to work for the white man. I don't want to work. I don't want. And then you go back to Genesis, the first chapter, when it was perfect. You labor. You see, they don't have no respect for Yah. They say, I ain't thinking about what he said. I ain't laboring nothing. See, that shows you the difference in when man tell them to do something and Yah tells them to do something. They don't want to come out of the mouth of Yah, the word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. But they would do what man tell them to do, because that's their idol God. Someone they can see and believe, praise and believe, adore and believe, because he said things that make them feel that they right. You do not see these men on here telling these other men, you need to work, take care of your family until the Most High Yah come. They telling them don't work. Y'all didn't know they did you. Leave them alone. Anytime a man tell you to go in a way that's opposite than the way Deuteronomy had already said it would be, then that's showing you that's a man who said, forget Deuteronomy 28, forget that Bible, follow my way, follow my direction. And that's what they're doing. Because most of them run around here talking about being leaders, kings, rulers, business owner, and ain't got a dollar in the bank. Matter of fact, they ain't even got a bank account. They trying to see where they can lay their head, what group will accept them. You see, they're teaching these men not to do anything, because if you do something, you'll be doing it to help her, and your children don't do nothing. And see, these women so gone, they gone. They can't see the whole orchestration of the men today in the tribe of Judah. One man telling them, come follow my rectum this way. And they take off running. He's going to give them free housing, free this and free this and free this, until after a while, baby, you're going to realize what he had to offer you wasn't free. You gave your spirit over to that man to serve him as an idol God. And you thought that you were doing what was righteous. But righteous do you. You don't do righteous. And when righteous do you, it ain't going to have you fall in the rectum of a man. I see these people are back in all this wicked up 100. To me, like I said, they called in their rectum. And the only way I can say that it is a rectum. Because anytime you that far up in a man's rectum that you can't see the glory of the Most High Yah, you can't see spirit and truth, you can't see the light, you are in the rectum. I hear Revelation says, come out of her, like you up in her. See, I'm just saying it the same way, but I'm saying as far as what I can see, because I'm living this thing, y'all. I'm here down here living this thing. I'm seeing this thing. And they are all up in these men rectum. They don't care. And by them being so deep in their rectum, they can't see that what is actually taking place outside of the rectum, because they got up in the rectum, got stuck, and love it in the rectum instead of coming out and seeing the day, seeing the light, understanding spirit and truth. Only time they're gonna get it is when they come out of him. But they ain't looking to come out of them because they think that's the best life. Oh, we don't have to work. We don't have to labor. We don't have to do nothing but follow this individual. And we on our way. You know the wicked thing is about that? It's a trap. Well, what do you mean, Deborah? I have never in my life heard, not one time, it being taught. What's up with this evil and good? See, evil looks good. Evil can be good. Evil thinks good. Evil acts good. But you better be careful, because that same good deceived Adam and Eve. You see, Satan was speaking good to where they couldn't see the evil, because they knew no evil. They were at one point perfect. But look what good and evil caused them to do. To choose who? Good and evil. No one ever questioned why was good with evil? Why was evil with good in the same tree? And we know that it wasn't, like tree, but in the same with each other, side by side. Why is that? Because people never understood that perfect is righteous. They were born that. They was born already that. And they chose evil and good, which were partners. So when you sit and you try to put these people on pedestals and you sitting here so deep in a rectum to where you can't see that this person is showing you good under the standards of evil, because they siblings, they work hand in hand. Is there a good? Yes, there's a good, but you have to know that good from the inside out, not from the outside in. That means that good is the good of the Most High Yah, okay? But the evil and good that was in the garden, they was together like this here, y'all, two peas in a pot. Didn't Sister Deborah tell y'all everything is done in twos? And you will never know good as far as Yah until the Ruach come. When that Ruach come in you, then there go good. Just like there go everything. When he take on your spirit and abide in you, he said, and you abide in him, he abide in you. That's when all the characteristics of the Father rests within. You see? But before then, let me tell you, you was doing good and even good. Many people call good evil and call evil good. But they don't understand those in the flesh, two peas in a pot, they come together. And this is what people see. They like it, going back to what they say, fruit. You'll know them by their fruit. What fruit is it? People think, because this is how they were taught, the fruit is what you got, what you building, what you have. You got all this land, you got all this here, you got all this. What if you stole it all? Which 99.8 does. So you're going to call that fruit of the Spirit? It's not fruit of the Spirit. It's fruit of the flesh. And we know how the flesh receives. That's what that is. Fruit of the flesh. Yes, do people? Yes, because he said people will give to the fruit of the flesh 99.9 of the time. Why? You have to either be born of the flesh or you're born of the Spirit. Whichever one you serve, that's the one you're going to give your time, your energy, your heart, and your mind to. The sad part is they find themselves giving their heart and their mind of their flesh. But then they also give their spirit. And this is why when you turn your spirit over, when you give your spirit, heaven's already had it locked in and locked out that you will buy into what you buy into today. That's why you can't get on this devil platform and tell people when this person really did, because it don't matter. Heaven's got them locked in. That's why they can't come out. That's why I say they up in the rectum. They can't come out. There's no way out. Heaven's got them locked in to be where they at. So when it's all said and done, and the dead stand before the throne to be judged, you're already in the books with the BOOKS. You're not in the book, which is the one. See, Yah is oneness. Okay? He's not calling those who go to the broad gate in the one of unity, oneness. The broad gate is for those who are going already assigned in the books. So that you see how deep it is, how they can't even escape the fact that where they at is where they need to be. Where they at is where they was predestined to be. Where they at is where they were ordained to be. Where they at is where y'all knew that they would be. Praise the mighty Yah. And why is that, Deborah? Because it is written. And if it's written, heaven had to jot it down. This is why He's been telling me for the last 2 years, it's finished. And it's with those that walk in the light and spirit and truth, they will fully understand it is finished. And it's something that's easy to embrace, but it's hard to live on this earth and know that it is finished. But yet you constantly see it. The broad gate and the narrow gate, seeing the way in which they go. Knowing that the broad gate is leading to the books. Knowing that the narrow gate is leading to life, which is the one book of life. It's a blessing. Truly, it is to live on this earth to behold these things. On the other end, it's being flesh. It gets saddened as time go on, because you realize that the winner of the number is the books that's holding the broad gate, and that you are limited to even ministering and giving spirit and truth to the true ones that's going into the narrow gate. By you being flesh, you see these things, you try to give the best that you can give to put out so one could at least understand. And I believe that it is a blessing to know which direction you're going in. I think it is. I feel that it is, because this is what I think. I think no matter, like a lot of people are waiting to go to the promised land. Sister Deborah ain't waiting for that. I want to see my Most High Yah. That's what I'm waiting for. You see? So I know who orchestrated this whole overall. So I'm not looking for the promised land. I'm looking for the New Jerusalem. That's the difference. He that is looking for the promised land, looking for more buyout time to live life. But he that's looking for the New Jerusalem is looking for eternal life with the Father. You see? See, when you're looking the right way, you're walking the right way. You see? Because see, even though you don't orchestrate the directions, or nor do you tell which direction one should go or is going, you know the ultimate direction is the New Jerusalem, where the Father is at. So I shoot for that one. But if he said, baby, you ain't going nowhere, you're going to be here, and I need to take you on over there to the other side, I'm going, yay, Father. But he knows already, seek ye the kingdom first, and all shall be added unto thee. You think these Negroes down here seeking the kingdom? No. They seeking a place where they can make their kingdom here on the earth. They seeking their selfishness, their ego, their pride, and their boasting. And they got the level of hate that I have never seen. I ain't never seen a man have so much hate. But guess what? This is why you got a lot of men that's homosexual. You wondering why a lot of these men acting like they women. A lot of men wanting to take the role of a woman. See, women don't understand. They've been trying to take your place for a long, long, long time. So it's just got to be something about you that they've been trying to take your place. The place in which a lot of women have taken, which is the head in the household, is because they followed Genesis chapter 1. Labor to eat until you enter the grave. She has to take that position because there's no one to feed the children, to house the children, or to bring the children up. So she's given a bad deal while men is still in her role as a female. Y'all don't get it. You ain't gonna ever get it. So this is why you will find a lot of men having a lot of hate for women. A whole lot, because they want their way with women. They tell you to shut up. Y'all say, now, who are they to tell what is mine? What to say, Deborah? Why would people believe out of the mouth of a flesh of a man that I called her with a holy calling. From heaven did I call her. She should shut up because he said shut up. She shouldn't do this because he says she shouldn't do it. See, they have stepped their boundaries. And y'all say it's finished. I'm gonna let all the what do you say, the fire kindle what it needs to kindle. And when it's all said and done, they're gonna wonder what hit them. Because it's going on. And I'm like standing on the sideline, like, okay, now, Father, it's still going and it's still going. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And more, he's giving me peace. He's giving me more peace. More peace. There's a lot of things going on, you guys. A whole lot. But as time go on, the greatest thing to have is his peace that passes all understanding. If he greater in you than he that is in the world, he's going to come to bring you peace in the midst of the furnace fire, in the midst of in the storm. He's going to bring you that peace because he said, I got you where you at. Yes, can you see everything? Yes. But I got to prepare you from the inside out. I can't prepare you from the outside. I got to prepare you from the inside out so you can continue the journey. You know, and he tells you that how the spiritual gift he has given you, the gift of endurance. You see what I'm saying? The gift of faith, the gift of fear. You see, the gift of belief and the gift of righteousness is a brand. He has branded you, just preparing you for the mission itself, in which what he has called you to. Do you hear these people teaching stuff like that? Do you hear them preaching on the mountaintop? You don't hear nothing. But this is something else that was confusing to me. How is it that these Gentiles pulling up? My sister was laughing at me when I call it pulling up. They was just laughing at me. Said, you so crazy. My oldest sisters. They said, you so crazy. I said, yeah, and this one pulling up. They be like, what you talking about? You so crazy. But yeah, the Gentiles are pulling up in a way that's off the chain. I mean, they digging deep, y'all. They digging deep. They own this Roman Catholic. I give all glory and praise to the Most High, y'all. You think he's going to shut down everything because of a people that he said that he's going to destroy? The end game is to destroy. And they haven't recognized the curse as something to be destroyed. Do you think he's sitting high and low because he's all both ways? You think he looking at us and thinking and saying that, okay, you gonna do whatever you want, just do it your way, just do it, yeah, deceive the people here, teach them to hate, teach them this, no unity, none whatsoever, unless it's around hate. That's what's deep. Unless it's around a hateful heart and a wicked mouth, a loud mouth, wicked, hated heart. That's what a multitude run to. That's what the multitude grip. They grab, they bow down to, and they serve as an idol, y'all. And what does it do to the loud mouth, big mouth, wicked, hateful hearted individual? Boost them higher and higher in what they are in. Mm-hmm. And the Father said, ain't nothing they doing is going to save them. Nothing, Deborah. Nothing they doing is going to save them. I was explaining to you all, someone came to me and told me, you remember when you said, one was my mother. One was my ex-husband, trying to bring Sister Deborah memory back to what I said to them. And I think I said, Father, that's 40, probably 40 some years. How could that be? He said, because you think, because you said it, that it was going to fall void. You done forgot it. That's how I am. I say what he say and go on by my business and leave it there. But when it comes back to you, he's allowing you to live to not only see it now, but to hear it, even though it's been years. But what he's doing today is not based on years, y'all. It's over. It's finished. What y'all is doing now, he's pulling on up. He's coming on up and in. Because what is actually a lot of things that's is hitting heaven in a way that he's displeased. And it wasn't like he didn't know it would, but because as days go on, he's feeling that thing. And he's about to do some things. He's about to do some things. And a lot of people thinking that, I ain't gonna say what people thinking because I don't know what they thinking. All I can tell you is the way they conducting themselves in the world. That we do what we want to do, how we want to, in the way we want. You don't see, I mean, this is the part that kind of throws me all the way off. Is when people don't see nothing that the tribe of Judah, men and women, are doing out here. Don't see nothing wrong with it. To where right has become wrong and wrong has become right. And I'm sitting here today on my couch and I'm sitting here listening to these two Europeans break that word down. And I'm like saying, wait a minute, why is it they able to do that? In me, I'm saying, wait a minute, hold up now. Why are they able to do that? They breaking stuff down to where it can't be broken down no more. And I'm like saying, well, what happened to Judah and what happened to Israel? Well, why couldn't they do that? Instead, they out here killing, stealing, destroying. Do you all see the number of those men that's out here killing for every reason possible, even their own brothers? I ain't even say their brother, even their own nation. I've said this for the last 2 years, no, about 2.5 years. Period of turning the deaf ear and turning their ear away and their eyes away from what is really right there, so that they will not see, so that they won't see, but it's right in their faces. And they got other things they want to talk about to deceive the mass instead of talking about this, because this going to end up where you at. A lot of them don't know that. It's going to end up on your doorstep. It's going to end up on your kingdom. It's going to end up on your land. Because y'all going to direct it right there where you are at. How you like them now? Because a lot of people thinking that, okay, we got it made because we way out here. Baby, no. You don't know how heaven straightened everything. Before you even got all the way out there, heaven already had it written. Everybody's trying to justify and identify and clarify why things are happening. And then on the other end, when they're talking about Gentiles in the world, they can identify that. But wait a minute, what about your nation? What about your men that's out here that's not working? Your women that's out here that's showing their tails. What about all? No, we don't see none of that. We don't understand why this is happening. I'm like, Father, they really mess you up mentally in their mind. He already done orchestrated the beginning to the end, and they could care less what he is beholding of them. Because they so busy seeing a man, a loudmouth man, orchestrating. And I'm going to tell you something. And I saw these heathens, not even call them heathens, these Gentiles, listening to a tribe of Judah. And I was able to discern them instant. They were saying, this man talk about the same stuff every time. And they was looking, and I was like, look there. They know that this individual don't worship no Most High Yah. They know it. And another thing that I like about it is because y'all got things going on in the inside of the camp when they think they're running the camp. He got something on the inside of the camp that's going to go against them so big time. Thinking they running the camp. They got everything in order, you know. They built their tower, their kingdom. They doing it. And y'all said, Deborah, I got it working from the inside. That's funny to me because it's amazing how you could be so dumb to you. I mean, so smart to you, so dumb. Because if y'all got something working on the inside, that shows you don't know what you got within your camp. And see, that's what a lot of them don't know. They don't know what they got within. They want you to think everything look pretty and dandy, and this is the fruit. What the fruit of what? Your flesh? The fruit of your flesh? It ain't the fruit of no spirit. You know? A lot of people don't understand how. No, it doesn't make any sense to even go into that because it's not going to help. And I really do. I thank the Father for giving me an opportunity to speak on this devil's platform and not care about the emotions and the feelings of nobody. Let me tell you why. It's because when he created me, before I was in my mother's womb, he predestined me. He ordained me. He foreknew me. Before the foundation of the world, he called me with a holy calling for his purpose. Do you think I'm going to waste what he done before heaven and earth to me to come down here and play with people on the level of where they emotions and feelings are at? I could care less. And that's what this page going to continue to be about. Not giving a care about who's on here, who's listening. Because honestly, you ain't got no business listening, really. Because this is really for he and she that is spirit and truth and holds the light. Outside of that, all that yang, faking it till you make it and trying to eat from a plate that don't belong to you, I'll advise you, I'm going to tell you every chance I get off this platform. Go, it's plenty of platforms out there for you. Oh, it's hundreds and thousands of platforms for you. Sister Deborah won't have no hardship, won't have no hardness. Just go. Because what I'm going to be saying on these platforms is going to be spirit and truth of the whole matter. So those that are out there walking in spirit and truth and have the light can see in the darkness of all this chaos and not get caught. They ain't going to get caught because y'all ain't going to let them get caught. But they can see, because he's saying that a lot of them are confused because of so much deception and deceiving and manipulation, and they're trying to find out, wait a minute, what are they doing? But see, they got to know that there's two. They got to recognize at all times there's two. So if you see someone doing something and you're trying to figure it out and trying to measure, what are they doing? Don't be tied up in it. Don't be over emotion or over turning because you see them doing this here. That's their side. They should be doing this. You're not on that side, but find your side you need to be on. You see, that's where you need to be on one side. Let them be on another. That's another thing y'all have not noticed. And no one ever preached it and teach it. It's two of everything. And you have to be able to separate the one that's different from Yah. And that's why I say even today, I thank the Father for the discerning spirit to be able to try the spirit by the spirit. See, those are gifts that he's given. He is. And everybody think that you really ain't who you are because you're using these things. And they don't understand. All these gifts cause you to discern people and know who people are. Try the spirit by the spirit. Who are you talking to? Who are you telling to try the spirit by the spirit, Father? Who are you telling that to? You'll know them by their fruit. Who is this you saying would know it? Who is this one over here that will know them? Who is this one over here that will know them by their fruit? Who is tried the Spirit by the Spirit. Now, who is the one going to try the Spirit by their spirit? Who is that one over? That's them two. That's them two, I'm telling you. And these that's over here who has all these appointed, anointed gift from the Most High to run this journey, they're confused. You see, and that's who I'm here for, them. Because they're looking at it and saying, wait a minute, it's only one of me over there, but hey, there's a million on that side. That way, could I be wrong? No, you ain't. See, and then they begin to kind of balance and try to figure this thing out. Even though each and every time y'all gonna let them find their way home. But it's just the idea. It can get very confusing because I'm telling you, I am at such a good place in life itself. I am in a good place of life itself because the Spirit of the Most High Yah, He talks to me every day. He teaches me every day. I learn something new every day. I hear His voice in my spirit every day. He leads and He guides me. He chastises me. He disciplines me. All that good stuff. And I wait on Him. I trust in Him. I lean to Him. That's those same individuals. They are looking for me, and I'm looking for them to be on this platform. Those are the ones because they know where I'm coming from because they are coming from that same place that I have come from. It's just that some is so much going on. They kind of doubt themselves. They kind of, hey, wait a minute, where do I go? Where do I stand? Because I'm gonna tell you something, it's heavy. And it's what I realized that a lot of people are talking about the Antichrist and the false prophet and the beast. And y'all need to sit y'all door and tails down. Sit your door and tails down. You ain't got no business caught up in none of that if you ain't right in the spirit realm. If you ain't right in the spirit realm, you ain't got no business talking about nothing. I don't know if you ain't got no business talking about nothing. Because you in somebody in a different lane. Because these are the things that those who are appointed and anointed, predestined, ordained before the foundation of the world, they are written in the Lamb Book of Life. You see, so they come down here. They can't say that we are written in there, but they know it's a big difference between them and the multitude, which is million. But yet they don't want to go in the same lane that the multitude is going in. And I don't blame them. Because they are not for that. Their mission is to return back to the bosom of Yah. Not to return in the multitude lane and follow them. Because everybody's going that way. That's how a lot of people are today. They figured, okay, I follow this clown, even though I know this clown talks some things that don't make no sense, but I follow him anyway because everybody else follows him. You go right on ahead. The broad gate got plenty of room. Plenty of room. And the deceivers, they need those to deceive because Yah has given them to them. Since you're a deceiver, I need to give you those that you can deceive so you can continue to deceive. And they shall follow you and not me, said the Most High Yah. Let me see if I could. The Gentile men, they were talking, and I was listening to them, and they pinpointed all kind of things. They said they was put off of YouTube for 2.5 weeks. Now, what they come to conclude, what they found out was the Roman Catholics was doing and did a lot of mess back then, to the point where these two white guys, they figured it out that they didn't twist a lot of verses and erased it and changed it. Now I'm sitting here listening to them. I said, now, how is it though, Father Yah? They can come to that But the tribe of Judah came. The tribe of Judah run around. Somebody asked me, a couple of guys asked me a question. No, one guy, he asked me, he said, where's the scriptures for that? That's where you messed up from the floor up, fool. Because the scriptures is not the word of God. God's word is spirit and it is truth. And it's come from the inside out, not the outside in. You licking the outside of a man's rear end. That's why you can't find spirit and truth. That's why you can't see the light. This is the weakest link of all our men. I'm going to say all of them. Is they think that Bible is their scapegoat to whatever and anything that they want to do, say, or live by. And guess what? It ain't got nothing in here for them to want to lead, go in the wrong direction. It's just what they chose to do and use this to justify. I heard a couple of brothers teaching polygamy. They broke that thing down. They broke it down. And guess where they come from? Tell me my Most High and good. They came from exactly where I came from the beginning. In Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. That was they start up, and they talked that thing all the way in. They did more than I did. I mean, they spoke more knowledge than I did. No, I say spoke more understanding in Genesis 1 and 2 regarding one wife and one husband becoming one. They broke that thing down. They broke it down. I was like, oh, I'm afraid of you. See, I give credit to those that do credit. I believe that we should be studying, using this book as a study guide and letting the Holy Spirit teach us from the inside out, and not be up in somebody, caught up in somebody rectum you can't get out because you've given him your life. You've sold your spirit over to a man's mind. And he ain't nothing but flesh upon flesh, with wicked of hate, envy, jealousy, pride, boasted minded, what's that other, a narcissist. I think I pronounce it, a narcissist. Yeah.